So I'll read the Eastern States lineup. So we're at 1, we have Lydia Glover. 2, Noelle Robinson. 3, Tori Waymeyer. 4, Jocelyn Terry. Maya Lech at 5. Jaylee Jones at 6. 7, we have DJ Corridon. At 8 man, we have Bridget McGonigal. 9, we have Nola Flynn. 10, Sienna Accardi. On the left wing, we have Jayla Walensky. 12, Olive Rhodes. 13, Peyton Rasnick. 14, the other wing, Mac Aloise. Macaloose. Is that how we're saying it? 15, Leah Sapola. And then our finishers are Sienna Miller, Leah DeMarco, Paige Rasnick, Claire Sherrill, Mariana Johnson, Bianca Petrucci, Maggie Birdsell, and Kayla Robinson. And team lead is Mike Eisenhart. Okay, we're about to kick off. And ball's up. Nola Flynn puts it into the center. Fielded cleanly on this wet, cold morning. Thunderbirds starting to take some shape, working out of their 22. Ball goes backwards. Still available. First rock of the day. Ball's out.
It'll be interesting to see how the teams get started here. You know, it is cold and wet. Ball's going to be slippery. You want to see it secured. Maybe a more conservative approach to start things off. But talking to Coach Eisenhart before the game, he's looking to get a lot of pressure on both sides of the ball from his eastern side. And in these conditions, it'll make it difficult for possession to be retained if that pressure exists from the defensive side. And you see a turnover coming on the penalty, going towards the eastern side with Flynn kicking for touch.
So good opportunity here for Eastern States. Just outside the 5 meter. Maybe we might see the maul going here. And of course, you know, it's early in the game, both teams trying to figure each other out,
sure.
a bit, trying to figure out themselves. And we have a knock on, so it's going to be a scrum. Again, that ball is going to be very slippery today.
And it will be interesting as well, Brian, because most of these players have been playing a lot of sevens recently. You know, the fall season traditionally in the Northeast is a time to play sevens. Many of the Doylestown players just completed their state championship last weekend.
Why do you say sevens with such disdain?
It
kind of rolls off your tongue.
It's a faster paced game that takes some of the nuances of the traditional 15-a-side rugby out of it.
Oh, stolen off the head. I think that was Jaylee Jones. EJRL spread it out. Olive Rhodes. Rasnick goes through her hands, but goes backwards. Looks like it's retained by Thunderbirds. So we might see a clearing kick here. They're going to spread it out the wing. Oh, they've got numbers on the outside. Coming up the wing, up to the 22. Good tackle there by I think it was Rasnick, was it? Actually, it was Walensky, sorry. Oh, big drive back by EGRL. That was Olive Rose. So ball's up in the air. Letch has it. Actually, it's Glover. So EGRL just keep maintaining that pressure. Ball's coming out now. Rock set. Flynn spreads it. Letch. Flynn digging it out again. And we have a knock on. So good solid defense by Thunderbird so far. Kind of bend, don't break.
And we're going to be calling her name all day. The number 9, the captain for the eastern side, Nola Flynn, who said it to Dartmouth. Just a tremendous scrum half. She has the control of the field and all the players around her. Makes the players around her better. And she's going to keep that attack moving from side to side.
Yeah, she has great vision of the field, and she really marshals everybody around in the best way possible. You have McGonigal at the back going to Sacred Heart in the fall. I know that they were very excited, and so were the McGonigal family. So we're going to have the put in by Ellie Nurse. Likely to see a clearing kick, which any high ball today, you know, on a wet, cold day, might be a good idea. Oh, the ball slips out of her hands as she's getting it back, but it's cleaned up. Just outside the 22. Thunderbird's trying to find a hole. They punch through, gain a few meters. That was the number 2, Peyton Langworthy, who we saw in Florida last year. Oh, and Eastern States went for the interception. I think that was Jocelyn Terry, and it was knocked on. I don't think it'll be considered in any way malicious, so there wouldn't be much chance of a yellow on that.
But Brian, you can see from early on that Midwest is, you know, they have a very consistent shape to their attack, and that's something that goes back for, you know, the 3 years that we've seen them down in Florida.
Yeah.
That consistency that they have in their structure allows for players to graduate and new players to come in, and you know, they just fit back into the spot, and there's that familiarity with each other.
Oh, nice run up the side, up to just inside their halfway. That's number 15, Morgan Roth. And it's going to be a penalty for not releasing. But a really nice breakthrough there by Roth. Flynn will put it to the corner. And it's just on 22. It's going to be another attacking line out for Eastern States. Robinson wanted to take a quick throw, but everything settles down and we'll have a full line out complement up in 1, and it looks like we're going to be not straight. So it's going to be a scrum option or a line out for Thunderbirds. So EGRL are doing a good job of attacking and containing Thunderbirds, but just key moments, a couple of mistakes, you know, mainly due to the wet ball, I'd say.
Yeah, the lineouts are going to be a nightmare in these conditions. It's especially when you're dealing with, you know, a select side team where there's not necessarily that that collaboration between the throwers, the jumpers, and the lifters. To, you know, they had a short practice yesterday to sort of get everything together. But you add in the conditions, it's going to be a challenge to get clean ball on the lineout.
Yeah. So Nurse with the put in. See if Ariel Pickett breaks off the back. Stays in. Ball's out. It's the 10, Ava Thayer. Oh, and there goes the 15, Roth. Up past the halfway. She has got wheels. Nice tackle on the outside. She's up to the EGRL 22, the Eastern States 22. We're going to have to...
That's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Strong tackle by Flynn. Going to come back.
Going to have us offside. So first really good attacking platform here for...
That was a tremendous run by Roth with those long strides coming out of the 15 position. Really flipped the field. So the first time that the Thunderbirds have been on the attacking side of the pitch this morning.
Thayer broke the line and out to Roth, and Roth on the outside just kicked it into another gear. Okay, so delay on the throw-in. Both teams had jumped, but the hooker didn't put it in. I think that's Peyton Langworthy. One cleanly. Show and go by Thayer. Gets a couple of meters. Raznik tries to get her hands on it, but it's told to release. That's Pickett. Langworthy. Oh, nice break by Langworthy. Up just outside the... Oh, and it's a score. Langworthy gets it down. So she broke a couple of tackles, just kept churning the feet and managed to get her arm extended, and a nice score there by Peyton Langworthy.
That was good, strong run by the forwards of the Midwest to keep going forward. A chance to add on with Roth with the kick.
Yeah, you had Wade, Pickett, and Langworthy all involved in the back line there, and just getting a nice platform to really punch a hole. Kick by Roth is pushed wide.
So Midwest strikes first here this morning and take a 5-0 lead. It's interesting that the Eastern side had Midwest on the ropes there, and they just couldn't get the ball across to put anything on the scoreboard. And Midwest was quickly able to flip the field and get on the board with the first score of the day.
Very reminiscent of Scotland, New Zealand yesterday, but a lot of time left in this one. So we're doing 35-minute halves. Yellows, if there is any, will be 10 minutes. Ball bounces forward off Knapp, but is able to retain the ball.
There should be rolling substitutions today, so that the purpose of the game, both teams want to win, but it's also a good showcase for these players to get some experience at a higher level to be playing in this game. So you'll see some players coming off the bench and going back on the bench, and a little more free-flowing substitutions than you normally would see in a traditional rugby match.
It was a good tackle there by Jones. EGRL, Eastern States, keeping the pressure on. Pickett brings it forward. Flynn gets her hands in on it and turns it over. Good job by Flynn. Not exactly where you want to see your scrum half doing kind of what's known as the dirty work in the scrums, but Nola is not one to shy away from contact.
And she's a special kind of player. We've watched her for 4 years now. She's preparing to go off to college next year, and the evolution of her game is really something to watch. She's a complete player. She's gotten stronger and has become more physical, more comfortable in the tackle and the breakdown, and she's had a foot since she was a freshman, and the rugby IQ, but she's really turned into a complete player out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have offside. So in that phase of the game, we had a really nice clean out by DJ Corridon to maintain EGRL possession. Oh, nice break by McGonigal. Takes a step forward. Ball is, we're having not back 10. So it's going to be another penalty for EGRL. Out to Raznik. Raznik out to Walensky, and Walensky punches it in the corner. So Walensky gets an opportunity to show her pace on the outside. So all tied up at 5 with the kick to follow, and it'll be Flynn to give it an opportunity here. It's on the outside, so it's not the easiest kick in the world, but it's certainly something that is still within her range.
Anytime I've coached against Nola, she usually has no problem slotting them from anywhere on the field, it seems. But
she does like to stick the dagger in the heart of other teams. Very good all-round player. Strikes up, looks a little light, and it's going to be 5-all. So Eastern States strike back, tie it up.
So far, the teams are very evenly matched. It seems that a lot of talent on both sides of the ball as they.
Ball's up. Fielded by Raznik. Straight back on the attack. Pop out to DJ Corridon. Flynn has it. Oh, tried to put it up over the top and it was blocked. So we're going to have a knock on by Eastern States. So Thunderbirds, I think it might have been Langworthy, but I'm not sure. Blocked the box kick from Flynn, and then it was knocked on by Eastern States. So again, nice attacking platform here. Scrum just outside the 10-meter line. Thunderbirds backline take their shape. Ball's out. Nurse. Switch back inside to, looks to be number 12, Sam Orlando. And it's going to be a penalty for not releasing.
Nice. Good job.
Tap by Flynn, out to McGonigal. Good low tackle by number 21, Sophia Pomeroy.
Not rolling away.
And we're going to have not releasing. Actually, no, we're going to have a scrum. Not sure what that call was. Looked like not rolling away maybe, but that would have been a penalty.
Yeah.
So not sure. The ball just wasn't coming out, but it was going to be an Eastern State scrum.
Seemed to have scored it out the side, and Flynn had secured it, but I'm guessing it was buried at the bottom of the.
Yeah, Thunderbirds got a hand on it, but then just knocked it on. Flynn puts it in, ball's out. Moving out the back line. It's dropped, but it's backwards. Cleaned up. Flynn has it again. Dropped again, but backwards. We're going to have a offside call. So Thunderbirds being really, really aggressive on defense, and it's hurt them on that occasion. McGonigal, nice little pop out to Jocelyn Terry. The Doylestown connection between Flynn, Terry, and McGonigal. Eastern States up to just inside the halfway. Really
Excellent
nice
tackle by Nurse. Yeah.
Oh, just knocked on. So it's going to be advantage. It looks like Pickett might have cleaned it up. Oh, ball's available. Out who can't get a number, not sure. But it looks like we're going to have an advantage on the knock on, so it's going to be scrum to Thunderbirds.
Played by J.L. Jones, number 6 on the eastern side. I thought there might have been a possibility for a breakaway there, and she caught enough of the jersey to stop the momentum and allow her teammates to regather and stop that threat from the Midwest.
Yeah, that was Rylan Hackett on the outside, the 7, trying to punch a hole. So Nurse with the put in. Pod set just outside in the center hash marks, let's say. And it looks like it's going to be knock on. Again, a lot of handling errors today. It's just a slippery wet ball, so it's hard to get a good pass out, and then it's hard to catch it as well.
And playing on the turf, sometimes the ball gets a little slick as well, and a combination is going to make it difficult for too many passes and longer passes, things like that.
Yeah, it is a raw, cold day too, so the hands are probably a little bit cold out there. So we've been kind of maintaining possession between the 10s with both teams here. Ball again goes backwards. Cleaned up a little bit by Eastern State. A little bit of a flat shape to Eastern States on that phase. Turned over. Nurse about to dig it out. Langworthy, the try scorer. There's a punch forward.
Yeah, we've called her name a few times today. She's an excellent player.
We have. I remember her from Florida last year. maybe even the year before, I'm not sure, but she was definitely a factor last year in January when we were down there. Definitely bringing that experience. I think the referee is doing a good job of keeping the game flowing so far. So EGRL with the put in. It's what, probably our 7th or 8th scrum so far.
Seems like it.
Glad we're not out there. Not that I really know what a scrum is. Rhodes out to Raznik. Raznik gets a little punch through. Out to the try scorer.
Oh, there we have a break there from Sienna Cardi.
So in from the side, we can hear the crowd outside calling to the ref in support. So Flynn will take the kick and take the meters. Good solid boot.
Never refereeing myself, but I'm pretty sure that that crowd participation is vital for their, and from coaches as well.
Oh, referees love when they get the help on calls from the sideline. They really do. You know, it's the one part of the game they really, they always say we wish we had more of that. No, I will say rugby is one of those things where, in general, fans and coaches are very, very respectful.
See a couple substitutions taking place here. And as I said, we'll see the rosters flowing in and out as the game proceeds. I know that both coaches will have plans so that you have a weekend like this and you want everyone to get an opportunity to show what they have and gain experience as both teams are building for in February going down to Tampa for the interterritorial championships.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Brian. It's rolling subs. It's not a case of you're out of the game once you come off. So a little bit high there, but ball is available for Flynn. Out to Lech. Nice drive on. Again, I think the ruck needs to be a little bit better set. Out to McGonigal. Nice little pop pass. Oh, burst through by Jocelyn Terry. She's got some pace. She's got old, and that could be in. It looks like it is Flynn in. A little bit lucky not to get an obstruction call on that. There was a bit of a switch coming in from the wing from Mac Galois. She switched with McGonigal, but I think maybe McGonigal maintained enough of a line to make the ref happy. So Rhodes will try and kick this one. So really nice hook up there from the Doylestown crew. Jocelyn Terry, nice little pop pass. She makes a nice break, and then a little pop pass out to Flynn, who gets it over.
That's just your scrum half being in the right place in support of the play. You'd expect nothing less from Nova. She's all over the pitch, and when you put
and
that work
good
in,
from Rhodes. Rhodes from home club is Morris in New Jersey. Playing 12 today. And with that, the score is 12-5. And we're doing 35-minute halves. The clock is probably set up for 40 minutes. So we will adjust that. So just in your head, just maintain there's 5 minutes less. I think both teams are starting to feel a little bit of a rhythm now. Nice kickoff. Fielded cleanly by Raznik. Punches forward. Flynn there to dig it out. McGonigal. And that's a punch through by Robinson. Moving it out now. That's Glover. Rhodes. No, it's out to
Now get there.
It's the 15, Leah Sapola. And Roth has it. Swallowed up by Rhodes. McGonagall's out on it quickly. So Eastern State starting to be the ones to put the pressure on the defense, with their defense. Thunderbirds maintain. Little chip over the top. Nice ball. Bounces nicely for Sapola.
Go, let it go, all the way.
Puts it in her arms and punches forward. Just inside the Thunderbirds half.
That was great
Ball
work
good.
by Olive Rhodes there to seal that off and retain possession for the Eastern side.
Olive is full on all the time. Very, very coachable. Just an unfortunate drop there by Sienna Cardi.
Come back and play the offsides penalty against the Midwest.
You'd really like to see the winger chasing this up just in case it doesn't go into touch. Good stuff by Mac Eloise. Robinson with the put in. Oh, nice ball. McGonigal has it. Pickett broke the line, so Flynn kept it in her hands. Rock set, middle of the field. Out to McGonigal again. Raznik. Oh, Raznik had drifted out. McGonigal just put a nice little pop pass into space. Raznik was able to get back on it. Again, you know, jumping really, really aggressively on that defensive line.
Yeah, the Midwest is taking some chances on defense here. It's going to create opportunities to cause a turnover where, you know, it's also going to create some holes that Eastern side's going to look to exploit.
Yeah. Out to Waymeyer. Punches her way through. McCarty. Ball's dropped, and we do have turnover, I think. Yep. So it is going to be... Is it not releasing?
I believe there was a turnover, and then the not release call was on the subsequent breakdown.
Oh, some nice little footwork and a nice little pop pass there by McGonigal.
Yeah, see? He shoots on sides every time. She backed her up there. She's going to come up again.
Strong defense here. It's been a physical game so far.
Yes.
Terry, a couple of more meters. Flynn there to clean things up. Waymeyer takes a step back inside. Does a nice job. Waymeyer going to New Haven this ball. Ball is available. We're going to have a knock on. Again, that slippery ball just causing problems everywhere. It's a good game of rugby so far. What are you seeing from the Thunderbirds that you think they're really doing well?
I'm really impressed with their work around the breakdown and the contact area. They're competing for every ball. You know, when the tackle's made, it's putting a lot of pressure on the Eastern side to get to the breakdown and support. You've seen a couple plays in that last little run where the support wasn't there, but the difference maker is Nola Flynn. She was able to just pick the ball out of the breakdown and take off on her own.
Yeah, definitely a very high work rate.
Unbelievable.
Nurse waiting for that ball to come through. She has it. Kicks up by Thayer into the hands of Sapola. Puts a kick on the outside. Oh, and we almost had a really nice connection there between Sapola and Walensky. So we're going to have a little bit of a chat with the captain, Langworthy.
I believe the Eastern player was offsides on the kick chase. So they're going to come back and play the penalty there. Sometimes the wings get a little excited and outrun the coverage.
It happens.
Never been in that position myself. Great tackle there by the Midwest.
I'll stick in the wings. So Eastern State seem to be dropping quite a few out into their first and second pods, really before those rucks are fully cleaned up. So that might be a point of contention at halftime for the coaches to mention. You really have to win the ball and make sure you secure it first. Oh, big push there by DJ Cordon trying to clean out the ruck, but Thunderbirds do a nice job of maintaining. Ball's out. Roth, little pop pass to number 3, which is Yonker. Big hit by Rhodes. Thayer digs it out. Looks like Thayer has moved to the 9 position. Again, another good tackle by EGRL, by Eastern States. Sorry, I will be doing that all day, every day. Oh, nice little feed. It's out to Thayer. Punches a few meters forward. Thunderbirds on the attack again. Oh, a little bit of a show and go. It was a really nice move. 1 to beat. And that's number 7, and she's in. Very, very nice try there by Rylan Hackett. Oh, no, sorry, that was Peyton Langworthy again. Let me just confirm who actually scored that. That was a really nice phase of attack there by Thunderbirds. A little bit of a show and go. The defense bought it and punch right up the middle. So it seems to be Langworthy on that one. And it's going to be Roth with the kick. Much more kickable opportunity on this one. Oh, just pushed wide. So it's going to be 12-10, Eastern States.
Unlucky, that was a great strike.
It was. So back and forth in this one.
Yeah, it's a very evenly matched so far. And I'd say Eastern has a slight advantage in the time of possession, but Midwest has been able to capitalize quickly when they have ball in hand.
That's saying that the work rate for the whole Thunderbirds team has been really, really high, and they've been able to kind of keep the attack of Eastern States at bay, and then they've really taken full grasp of those opportunities they've been given. High kickoff by Flynn. Bounce but backwards. Cleaned up by the 3, which is Yonker. And I think that was Hackett into Seal. It's Langworthy. Just outside the 22. We've about 3 minutes left in this one, in this half. So we're going to have a scrum down. The ball was not coming out. I guess
there was a penalty on for hands in the ruck against the Eastern side, and Thunderbirds are choosing the scrum option on the penalty. From the center of the field, finding touch would probably be difficult, so they're looking for a platform to attack from, and they believe the scrum is their best option, I believe.
They certainly have the horses. They have a lot of speed in that back line.
They haven't necessarily had a whole lot of space to work with so far. The Eastern's doing a great job of...
Oh, Jaylee Jones stealing it. And doing a really nice job. The ball squirted out. Jaylee Jones took her opportunity. Flynn takes a quick tap. Rhodes punches it through. Breaks a couple of tackles. And she's in. Great work there by Jaylee Jones to steal the ball from the scrum. And nice work by Flynn out to Rhodes. Steps a couple of people and gets it, punches it through. It looks like Rhodes will also have kicking duties, so she'll have to compose herself, take a couple of deep breaths.
Go, keep it up, Lou!
Al's another one of those players that we've seen come along over the last couple of years in the EGRL, now Eastern program, that just gets better every time she takes the pitch and adds different facets to her game each time. The kicking, the ball carrying, the tackling, it all top level stuff.
She is that kid that's at practice an hour before, working on all sorts of, whether it's passing, kicking, punts, drop kicks, you name it. This kid's working hard.
Nice kick.
Swings in, and it's good. Nice little curve at the end. Rhodes having a good day for herself so far. Father Coach Trish will be screaming on the sideline. We have about maybe 30 seconds left in the half, if it is 35-minute halves, which we think it is. So Roth with the kickoff, puts up a little chip. Rhodes takes it out to Jaylee Jones, and unfortunately just knocked on there at the end by Leah DeMarco, who has just come into the game. Again, that slippery ball is really making things difficult for handling, but it will be Thunderbirds on the attack. The one area I would say Thunderbirds maybe need to clean up is the scrums. There's been a couple of balls that have squirted out the side. And
Yeah, JL Jones has taken 2 balls, I believe, out the side that the ball just sort of squirts out of the scrum. You don't normally see the flankers making a play off a scrum down, but she's very aggressive, and
you can see her. Oh, it's going to be a penalty advantage.
a little too aggressive that time.
Set her up for that. Nice dish off by Roth out to 21, Sophia Pomeroy. Break up the outside. Thunderbirds on the move. Roth. I like the way they have Langworthy just menacing in the middle.
She's a force.
She is. Oh, nice little dish off to Hackett. Big tackle by Sienna Miller. Out to the number 5, Knapp.
Great pressure from the eastern side too.
Little wraparound by Roth. A little bit isolated. We're going to have a diving over penalty, so maybe Roth knew there was an advantage. And Langworthy takes a quick tap, trying to punch it in for another. Still on her feet, still maintaining. About the 5-meter line. So looks like they're going to pass it out the back line here. Oh no, Roth tries to sneak through, gets pushed back by Sienna Miller. Ball's out to number 12, Sam Orlando. Now they're moving it out again. Pomeroy tries to go up the middle. Need to get her to ground. Dish off, and it looks like they're knocking on the door. Be a nice pick-me-up before halftime, but Eastern State's Olive Rhodes just drives her back. Good hands by Roth. Oh, and it's intercepted. Tori Waymeyer. She's up to halfway. Spreads it out to Leah DeMarco, and it's tapped back. It looks like it's cleaned up by number 7, Rylan Hackett. Spreads it out to number 14. Tackled by Leah DeMarco out into touch. And that might be the half. Not yet, it looks like. Really good work by Eastern States to maintain a defensive pressure on the goal line. And a nice interception there by Tori Waymeyer. So, ball is up. Eastern States have it. Ruck is set. Flynn trying to dig it out. Boot by Sapolo out into space. Takes a nice bounce. Through the legs of Roth. Well chased down by Raznik and DeMarco. You like to see the wingers looking for work. Oh, and tried to put it up the outside, but it's just knocked on, unfortunately. So, EGRL, Eastern States. I'm going to get wrapped on the knuckles by Nelson Galarza if I say that one more time.
Just a track meet broke out there for a little bit. There's some tired legs. This is probably the most consecutive rugby a lot of these players have played since the spring. So you want to get it to halftime. You don't want to see
Especially, we're in 7 seasons. 7 seasons just ended in a lot of states. So, getting right back into 15s is it's not an easy gear to change.
No, it's a different type of conditioning. It's more of a sprint than a marathon.
Oh, ball went backwards. Well cleaned up by Yonker. We're going to go back for the original infraction, which was a knock on by Eastern State. So, scrum for Thunderbirds. So let's see if this scrum goes a little bit cleaner. There's the horn. So time is up. So ball will, good push by Eastern State. Ball is available for Nurse.
I think it was knocked on. She tried to pull it out.
Great work by Eastern States on that push. And that's one of those details that they really haven't been able to work on together. Scrumming is something that's done as a unit, and
right.
You really need to have your timing right. So that's really good work there. See McGonigal going off the back. Out to Flynn, little pop, out to DeMarco, that's back inside, sets the ruck. Rhodes makes a couple of tackles. Rhodes trundling past the halfway. Really good work by Rhodes to stay on her feet. She is very strong. Flynn puts it up in the air. Well taken. Oh, and a nice tackle by the 10, Accardi. Thunderbirds maintain. And we're going to have a penalty for not rolling, not releasing maybe? Accardi, steps 1. Oh, and it's taken away. Up to halfway. 1 to beat. Good tackle there. And I think that's number 6, Sydney Wade, with that breakaway. And we're going to have a penalty for high tackle.
A great hustle by DJ to get back on the play, but I think the tackle was a little high.
Yeah, DJ Cordon just a little bit above the sternum. Langworthy settle things back down. He's going to take the scrum. So when it seemed that the Eastern States were really putting on a good phase of attack, interception by Sydney Wade, runs it back 40 meters. Thunderbirds aren't deciding to just take it easy and stroll into halftime. They want another score. Hackett off the back. Outside Flynn. Oh, Hackett breaks 2 tackles. And being dragged by Flynn. Out to Wade, and Wade gets the score. Really well deserved by Wade. She was a big part of the reason the Baby Birds had the ball in that whole series.
Yes.
So that's going to be a score right before halftime. Puts it at 19-15. And not the easiest kick. But let's see who lines up for it. It's probably Roth. So that was really, really good for the Thugs just to get that score right before the half. Kicks up, a little short. So scores 19-15 going into the half. Really exciting game of rugby.
It was fantastic. Exactly what we expected coming into it. 2 evenly matched sides playing really good style of rugby. Considering that these players aren't completely familiar with each other. outside of this weekend, some short camps and things like that, there's some continuity to play that, normally in these sort of situations takes a little longer to develop. But I think that just is a credit to the level of player that's on both of these sides today.
As we said, you're coming right off 7 seasons, so you're going into a totally different game. So, big thanks to St. Bonaventure, Coach Meredith, for inviting us up here. It's been a really, really very, very well received platform for the high school girls, and we want to see more high level rugby, and this is how we get to do it. So, lots of support from the local St. Bonaventure Rugby Club. So, if you're the Eastern States, what are you saying to the team at halftime?
I think you just want to stay consistent. I think that the pressure on both sides of the ball is what they wanted to work at coming into it, and they just have to continue doing what they're doing. Clean up some of the ball handling miscues and try to translate the amount of possession into more points. I think they retain possession far more than the Midwest did in that first half. They played at their end of the field. But the Midwest did a great job defensively to keep them to only 19 points and stay in this game and make a game of it.
So if you're Coach Gareth Fisher, what would you be saying to the Baby Birds at half?
And same thing. I think the pressure's great. I think they're competing at the breakdowns very well. I think taking the Eastern side off guard a little bit. And as you go to the bench, I think this is where the consistency of their program could shine through, because they have that shape, they have that structure, and they're going to go to the bench. There's going to be different players that are going to come in, and we'll see their talents and what they have to offer. But it's within a bigger system, so if they can stick with that plan, I think they're going to continue to have success. And it's a one-score game here. It's anybody's game in the second half.
Yeah, it's been good so far. So we have a special guest here. So Sue, if you want to introduce yourself, please.
I'm Sue Whitwell. I'm the head coach for the USA U18 program, part of the Pathways. My job is really to be identifying athletes so that we can start bringing them early into the pathway programs, looking for athletes that project into our national team programs.
Yeah, it's very, very important to get that continuity and get the girls in and identified as soon as you can. So what are you seeing out here that you're really impressed by today?
One, the level of competition between the two teams is really quite good. The pace of the game, a lot of the athletes are able to express their athleticism in the game, which is nice. There are several players out here who have been or are in the program who it's nice to come out and track and see their progress.
Okay, and if we look back at the last 5 to 10 years of the high school girls game, what would you say are the biggest development? Is it, more basic skills are developed more, or is it more of they're seeing the game in a kind of a better way and more strategy?
Yes to all of that.
Okay.
Absolutely all of that. You're seeing better base skills. You're seeing a faster paced game. You're seeing the decisions being made faster. You're seeing more of a running style game where all positions are required to have all of the skills, which is quite important as we move up in the ranks.
And what do you attribute that to? Is it getting into the game younger, or
getting into the game younger, having more opportunities to play? Programs like ETRL and the Midwest, having programs where they do the work to do the scouting, bring the teams together, organize the games, which is critical to actually being able to see the athletes in high-level games or fast-paced games with a lot of pressure to see what they can do with that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing in the growth of programs in the high schools.
So what you're saying is more of this.
More of this. Absolutely more of this.
And you guys were running the speed tests early on this morning, so kids were rolling out of bed sleepy eyed, and you had them out straight into the sprints.
They did a really nice job. So USA Rugby and the Pathways, led by Martha Danes, we're really making a big effort to do a more coming out doing the testing at events like this so we can actually watch the athletes in a game, showing in their team environments, which oftentimes let them show their athleticism. We'll also be doing a series of talent ID weekends in this upcoming year. For the U18s, we'll be looking at a camp over the summer, and all of these events and scouting opportunities will lead into that event, and then a competition towards the end of the year.
Will there be any international teams on the horizon?
That is the goal for our December competition.
Okay.
Yes.
What advice would you give for some of the, let's say, the younger athletes, maybe freshmen, sophomores? What do you think, you really want to see from them?
Doing the physical preparation work,
Okay.
watching as much rugby, taking as many opportunities to play as you can, would probably be the base pieces, because we are looking for athletes.
Yeah.
And then they will learn and grow the game, or learn and grow with the game through time. But if we can identify the athletes early,
Yeah, and
that's really the key.
It's one thing we say as coaches to the kids all the time. We have them for a few hours, a couple of nights a week, and that's not where you're going to learn all of your fitness and really do the strength work. That's more for the skills, concepts, and getting your tackling in and things like that. But you really need to be working on your own or with teammates on those off nights. Off nights, I say, in quotes.
Yeah.
You need to be hitting the gym and getting stronger.
And what I would say, especially for the young players who don't think they look up at the top, and the recognition that it is a journey and a development process, and to really not count themselves out. Lots of changes can happen from that age.
Oh, for sure. That's great advice. And um, what would you say for, let's say, some of these players now getting ready going into college?
One, that's a really difficult, because there's so many components to that. One, it is your life and your education. Two, if you can factor rugby into that, it really depends on your life situations. But if given the opportunity to play at a program that has support and kind of a long history of being organized and strong, that's always a good thing to do if your aspirations are for rugby, because that is an important piece. But first and foremost, you can absolutely come back into the pathways if your college isn't rugby wasn't your main focus in college.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that the door is closed.
Yeah, and we saw that with the U23s up in Quincy, Massachusetts over the summer. There was really nice to see almost like a bigger version of this, and obviously we'd like to keep this growing at the U18 level and see more regional competitions and things like that as well. So really looking forward to Florida in January, and
And that
maybe
is
some good weather.
yes, yes. I think the players are doing an incredible job given the weather and the conditions.
Yeah, definitely. We did harp on that a little bit in the first half. Very slippery ball, and they did a good job maintaining possession and really going through the phases. Especially coming off, all of these kids are coming off 7 seasons, so they really haven't had a lot of 15s, and then the teams get together a couple of times just to go over the concepts and everything. So it's definitely a changing gears. So.
Yes, definitely.
But we're nice and toasty in the booth here, so it's been nice for us.
Well, thanks for inviting me in.
So what's next on your agenda?
So next will be the series of TIDs and scouting events. So things like Florida, Tropical Sevens. We'll have a network of scouts that go out. But it's really important that a lot of the community coaches and coaches of the select side programs are in touch with us, so that because they're really doing a lot of the hard work of finding and really combing through some of the smaller schools to get athletes.
Yeah, for sure. And so, would you have any advice for the high school programs on how to grow the game, and what have you seen in your travels around the country that has really worked as far as getting new players in?
Really, most often it's about fun.
Yeah,
It's about fun and making it accessible and really allowing it to be part of their life, not the entire thing, especially at that age.
for sure. That's very, very good advice. All right. Well, thank you very much, Sue.
Well, thank you
Some
for having me.
really good stuff, and we're about to kick off the second half.
All right, great.
Okay, so we're going to have the Midwest Baby Birds kicking off. Looks to be Roth with ball in hand. There's some issue down in the corner. Not sure what's going on.
It looks like both sides have made some changes going into the second half, so we'll get to see some fresh faces out there.
You can see lots of kids fresh in, trying to shake off that little bit of
Yeah,
cold.
it's going to be an adjustment. It looks like the rain picked up a little bit during halftime. But coming from Western Europe, this is the home of rugby. This is the conditions in which the sport were meant to be played, isn't it, Brian?
That's right, and that's why I left. 9 months of this kind of weather. Actually, I think I might have been asked to leave, but it's a story for another day.
Well, we're happy to have you here in the United States.
Oh, thanks, Brian. Thanks. Can feel the love. Can you feel the sarcasm?
Feel it?
Good, good. Just wanted to be clear.
It's as cold as ice.
Sure is. So, need you ready to go?
It was a great conversation at halftime talking about, the progress of the girls' high school game over the last, just the 4 years that we've been doing the EGRL now into the eastern side. The development of the individual players, and it's because of opportunities like this, the opportunities of going down to Tampa. There's other programs that didn't exist 5, even 10 years ago. Your eras and your Atlantis. There's opportunities that didn't, happen before. There weren't these pathways, and it's great to see the representatives from USA Rugby out here today having a look at the players firsthand and see what they're able to do, because this is the next generation of those players that are playing in the World Cup.
Oh, it's really nice burst through there by Roth. It's turned over as a knock on straight down and cleaned up by DeMarco, but the ball wasn't coming out of the ruck, so we're going to have that scrum down for Eastern States. But yeah, what you were saying there, it's a really good point, and we've been privileged, to be in the high school coaching ranks to see the development and the progression of the game, and you're seeing kids able to kick off both feet. You're seeing them really recognize space and be able to create from there. It's not just let's set a pod, move the ball out the line, and it's really developed into a more thinking game, so.
And even the athleticism, the speed and the power at the breakdown is something that just evolves constantly. You see Mariana Johnson from North Bay with a strong run. She's one of the younger players on the team.
Yeah, Miller drops the shoulder, gets about 5-6 meters. Lynn digs it out. Nice break there by Paige Raznick. So we do have 2 Raznicks, 2 sisters on the team. And we're going to have a penalty for offside. So chance for Eastern States to set it and out to Rhodes. Rhodes makes a nice little cut back, keeps his feet moving. Takes 3 or 4 players with her, gets about 5 meters. Ruck set again, out to Miller again. Miller drops his shoulder again, takes a few players with her, really making an impact after coming on just before the half. Eastern States really just going through the phases. Ball's out, nice little step. Need to get over that ruck. Really good work by Bridget McGonigal to get there. It looks like we've hands on. Nice play by Thunderbirds to get that rucked early.
It was Ava Thayer working in the breakdown to turn that ball over.
Oh, nice little chip out to the wing. Picked up by DeMarco. Or Claire Sherrill.
High tackle, it looks like.
Yeah, it was almost a kick pass from the halfway. If she had bent down to pick it up, it was I think it was Sydney Wade closing in on her. The ball's out into touch from the penalty. Caught by Coach Eisenhart. He's usually dropping those balls coming out over the sideline. So good to see him actually catch one.
I think he's been working on his catch pass skills in this pre-time.
He has. You could do it a little bit more, but
that's between about 6:46 and 6:48 every morning.
Yeah. Very regimented. Oh, short, and the referee is going to call not straight. So we're going to have a scrum, or maybe not 5. But it was a nice little option by the Eastern States to try and punch it forward.
Yeah, both teams going to the bench. There's going to be a little bit of jitters, I'm sure, that adds into the weather conditions. So we'll see how these athletes react to that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of cold feet, cold hands. Sir, not happy. Let's do it again.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for some of these younger players to get some time at the select side level. If you think back to, 4 years ago when we were first starting the selects program for the EGRL, the size of the player pool, we're looking at, probably 40 or 50 players that we could considerably select to go down to Florida for the championships in February. Whereas the first year, there may not have been that many.
Yeah. Oh, nice burst through Eastern States, just outside the try line. And that is Mariana Johnson, really making an impact since she came on. And it looks like we have a knock on the outside, but referee doesn't have a hand up, so it might be ball straight down. It looks like it is turned over. No, we're going to go back for an offside penalty. So Eastern States seem to have come out a little bit fresher at the half. We have a punch through by Flynn, ducks under a couple of tacklers and just managed to get the ball down under. So nice score by Eastern States. Great break there by Mariana Johnson. Got about 20 meters on that.
Very strong runner. She, we've seen her come up through, the middle school level for a number of years, and I've been excited to see what she does at the high school level. And she's taking advantage of this opportunity right off the get-go. And the try by Flynn on the quick take, she had options to the left, options to the right, and she is the option as well. So
absolutely. So Rhodes finally misses one, and score is now 24-15.
That'll just give her something to work on this week
right.
of practice.
She'll have her notebook out taking notes. And then she'll have her notebook taking notes on the commentary. I'll send you those when we get to practice on Monday. I'm sure it'll be glowing reports. Just to be clear, if you're not liking the broadcast, it is Brian's fault.
Or O'Brien's fault.
O'Brien's fault. Okay, Eastern State's back on the move.
Great offload by McGonigal.
She just sees the space so well.
And then another player who's really coming into her own.
Yeah.
Very athletic. She has a basketball background. That
I know Sacred Heart is very excited to get her into the fray next year, and we're going to have a penalty for coming through the ruck. That was the 9 Nurse. So out to Rhodes. Nice ball out to Raznik, I think. Actually, might be Walensky. Hard to see from here. Oh, and it's turned over. So Thunderbirds have numbers on the outside if they can get that ball out there. We have Caroline Mignoni screaming to get her support out. It's there. Big drive back by number 5, Lech. So really good pressure being maintained by Eastern States, driving Thunderbirds back. That's Hackett. Again, being driven back. It was Lech again. Actually, it was Jocelyn Terry, and forcing a mistake.
our second rows are bringing the heat for the eastern side here early in the second half.
Yeah.
Negative tackles, and it just takes away any platform that you have to attack from for Midwest, and they're scrambling now to try to get out of the deep in their own end.
Yeah, and you could see that pressure just, it's very, very hard on an offense if they're being driven back in the tackle and having to keep retreating to reset and retreat to reset. That gets very, very tiresome.
It gets contagious for the eastern side. One of them gets a negative tackle, somebody else gets one, and all of a sudden you get 3 in a row, and you're struggling to get the ball safe.
Oh, and it's Flynn. She sneaks to the outside, out to Claire Sherrill. Tackle's made. Oh, and it's stolen.
Great pressure by Midwest.
So now we're going to have a penalty. Flynn spreads it out. Lech. Support needs to get there. Ball is available. Oh, could have been coming around the ruck, but McGonigal drives on. Let's see if she's got it down. She has. Referee was right there, makes the call. Thunderbirds were trying to hold her up, but she was able to get the hands down. So we now have 29-15. Really good work there by Flynn to marshal the team around the field and look at the options for, the back line totally moves to the right there, and Flynn said, no, I'm going left. Spread out to Cheryl. Just kept working. So a little bit of an easier kick for Rhodes.
I know he's got such great command of the field and all the players around her. There's a lot of weapons that, not only when she's playing for the eastern side here, but at Doylestown as well, a lot of talented players. Sometimes that can be difficult.
Yeah.
But she has such experience and a high rugby IQ that she can control the flow of the action and
kicks up, and it's good. So Rhodes adds another 2 points, 31-15. Yeah, if you watch Nola Flynn, she's almost like a basketballer where her off-the-ball work is so high level, and she's got such great rugby IQ. Her head is always on a swivel, looking to see what the options are, looking to see where she needs to drive players.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's been amazing to watch.
And she makes the tackles, and she's in the breakdown, so it's,
Yeah, you'd almost like to see her not.
Yeah. Probably much more than coaches Shane and Stacy are comfortable with sometimes, but.
Yep. Nice break by Jaylee Jones up the wing. Spreading it out to Accardi. Accardi drops the shoulder. Nice tackle by Langworthy. Out to McGonigal. Punch through. Nice little offload to the 15 Sapola. Raznik. Just a bit high. Cleaned up by DeMarco. Out to Rhodes. Rhodes drives forward. That's another thing about Rhodes. Her feet are always driving forward.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any cheap yards on her. And we're going to have a penalty for not releasing. So it gives Thunderbirds a chance to reset, get some possession. And that's a kick by Thayer. So it's going to be a line out just inside the 10.
Yeah, Thunderbirds just sort of need to catch their breath and regroup here. They've been under pressure the entire second half. The Eastern attack seems to be clicking.
Yeah, they've come out strong. But again, you know, a win here, both teams want it for sure, but it's really about developing your next line of players that are going to be down in Florida in February. Won by Eastern States. Ball spread out. Rhodes takes a couple of steps inside, takes a few players with her. Looks like we have ball available. Out to McGonigal. Spreads it out to Leah DeMarco. Bianca Petrucci maintains her ground, breaks the tackle, keeps the feet moving forward. Still going forward. Finally brought her to ground. Out to Sienna Miller, spreads it out. Rhodes. DeMarco. And I think that's Maggie Birdsell up past the halfway. And it's turned over. So Thunderbirds back on the attack, and it's going to be a penalty again for not rolling away. So Eastern State's giving up a couple of penalties here lately. And the ball went off the side of Thayer's boot, so she didn't get the distance she wanted.
Yeah, credit to Midwest. They're putting a lot of pressure on the breakdowns and have all day. And, you know, just the tiniest miscue in the breakdown, or, you know, not working on the deck to secure the ball. And they're taking advantage of it and creating turnovers. And really, it's their best opportunity to stay in this game to...
Yeah, and it is something we talked about in the first half where, you know, the Eastern States are really focused on getting their shape ready on attack, but they're not committing enough to the rucks maybe in all situations. Birdsell, and it's turned over. Thayer makes a nice break up to the 10 meter. Nice dish off. Still going forward. Swarmed by a bunch of Eastern States. Ball's out. There. Out to Hackett. Eastern State's trying to get the hands in. Ruck is set. Thayer digs it out. Out to 21. Which I'm not sure who 21 is. I don't have that number, unfortunately. Oh, show and go. And Roth finds a nice big hole. Cuts back inside.
Great.
And she's going to score under the post. And you could see that coming from the development of it. Roth, you really can't give her much space. She's a really deadly finisher.
Yeah, Midwest was set up pretty good with their shape to the outside. They just have been having a little trouble getting the ball to the players out there, whether it's, you know, handling miscues or, you know, runners taking it straight into contact. I think, and we've seen in the past from Midwest, that their ability to stretch the field can just be very difficult to defend.
Yeah, you could see as they stretched out on that wing where the shape of the defense started to kind of break apart, and then Ross just picked her a moment and put the head down.
She's having a good day. She's a strong player from the fullback position.
Yeah, and she added another 2 points after, so it's 31-22. This game is not over by any stretch. We've a little over 23 minutes left in the second half. I will say, I think the officiating has been very, very good today, especially in these wet conditions. You know, really, really great job of keeping the game moving, keeping it flowing. You know, refereeing continuity is as much a part of the game as just player continuity. Hackett fields. Makes a nice little cut up field. Tackled by Sienna Miller. Ball spread out. Big drive by Not sure who that was. Good defense. I think it might have been Kayla Robinson.
Penalty for not releasing,
So good work by
or for holding on rather.
Kayla Robinson to make that tackle.
I do have to note the restart kickoff of that last score was by West Carroll loose head prop Lida Govier, who crushed it into Midwest territory. And if I didn't mention that, I wouldn't be able to go back to practice Tuesday night. So hats off to Lida on her kicking skills, even though she's not completely entertained about playing in the front row today. More comfortable playing in the second rows, number 8, out in the centers.
But
But
again,
when you get an opportunity like this to be a part of this, we play out of position, and sometimes it's an opportunity to learn something and show talents that you didn't know you had.
that's a really good point, because that's a huge part of moving up a level and really putting these levels in to develop, because you're going to be asked to do things that are maybe not your normal club structure. So it is an opportunity, and you have to grasp it with both hands.
It was a great counter run by Walensky.
We do have a player down. Walensky is definitely a force to be reckoned with. She's a very, head down type runner. Has good top end speed.
There's a number of players on the squad from North Bay that we haven't mentioned. North Bay's a club that's on the rise. They've been down the last couple of years, but they've been young the last couple of years, and now those players are becoming the juniors and seniors, and sometimes you have to have an off year to develop the leadership and the talent to.
Well, yeah, and for sure, we've all been, with our clubs where you're graduating 7, 8, 9, 10 really, stalwart players, and that fill in usually is a bit of a dip because you're filling in with, your freshmen, your sophomore, your juniors, and it does take time to develop, and that's the great thing about these competitions. The more games they get, the more comfortable they are, and
Exactly.
it's really nice to see them developing.
And they bring that confidence back to their clubs. I've seen it at West Carroll where, girls that have played in the selects program, they pick up a little nugget here or there from, one of the other players, a coach that they're not around all the time, and they bring that back to their home clubs, and it makes the level of play when we get into the league play better.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
makes each individual player and all those around them better. And it's good that some of the concepts that are taught through the selects program are stuff that's being rolled out at the club level as well. So there is that familiarity that we talked about with the Midwest, where they have a basic structure. So when players graduate and rosters turn over or new players come in, you can slot them in, and there's a comfort level.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it, isn't it?
And it builds confidence in the players, because when you're playing with someone you're not used to playing with, you need as much as possible to trust that the person next to you is going to be doing their job. And if you're all on the same page, that's helpful.
So a bit of a slippery ball there by Nurse, cleaned up by Pomeroy. Nice break on the outside. Bit too high to really take Langworthy down.
Langworthy again.
Nice chase there by Mac Galoise, but a great run by Langworthy. And again, that's number 6, Sydney Wade.
She's had a big day.
She has. Roth first receiver. And it looks like it's knocked on, and we're going to have a scrum.
Yeah, I'd say that Langworthy's really been one of the standout players for the Thunderbirds today. Ball in hand and moving around the pitch. She's had a very strong day.
Yeah, and we've had the privilege of seeing Langworthy play down in Florida last year.
Yeah, looks like she's been as a 200 back. She's got her lined up at outside center, it looks like now.
So Caroline Mignoni to put the ball in for the Eastern States. Looks like Flynn has taken a break. Ball came out. So Raznik out to Johnson. Rhodes. And we're going to have a knock on. So it was knock on in contact. So it's going to be a scrum down to Thunderbirds. just outside the 10 meter, or just inside the 10 meter.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
It does, it really does. Again, thank you to St. Bonaventure University for hosting us here. It's been really, really nice and great experience for all the girls. Ball's out to Roth, playing 10. Oh, she makes a really nice cut. Cuts inside, and a very nice tackle. That was a try-saving tackle right there. Not sure who made the tackle. It might have been Raznik, but definitely Roth was knocking on the door. So, again, Eastern State still moving. Round the edge. I think that was number 3, Yonker. Actually, no, sorry, it's number 1, Soulsby. Oh, and Raznik went for the interception, just didn't get there.
Yeah, numbers to the outside. If they could just move the ball.
And it's out to Roth again. She's swarmed. It looks like she's taken out. Still in play. It looks like she's held up. So Roth did a great job to stay inbound and really fight to get to the try line, but a couple of Eastern State players managed to get underneath her and hold it up. So it's going to be a 5-meter dropout. Or goal line dropout, sorry.
Yeah, great work by Eastern defense to get over and cover that. Midwest was set up pretty good with numbers, and didn't see a number of the ball carrier. Just took that space away. Sometimes moving the ball is your best answer, and taking advantage of that space instead of trying to do it on foot.
Yeah, that was really good work by the prop Soulsby. Deep kick. Roth has it. Not the person you really want to kick to. She is swarmed by 4 or 5 players. Hackett cleans the ruck up, gets those hands out. Pomeroy. Ball spun out. Number 24, Bella Arnold. Wade being driven back by Rhodes. Ball spills out. Went backwards. Cleaned up by Orlando. Wade. Oh, good hands by Langworthy. It was a little bit behind her and she managed to catch it on her hip with one hand. Hackett. Oh, and it's knocked on. Raznik has it. Raznik makes a break up the middle. Out to Johnson. Johnson cuts back in, takes a step, and we're going to have offside. So some really good work there by Eastern States. Mignoni slows it down. Oh, and it did drop, but it seems like it did go backwards. Sienna Miller takes a couple of players to get her down. Need to fight through that ruck. Oh, good work by Mignoni to get that ball back. Managed to hit the ref in the process. She threw it from the ground, bounced off the ref's head, so the ref's going to say, sorry about that, we're going to scrum it down. So good work by Mignoni to fight off a very, very strong charging attack by.
I'm really impressed with the substitutions made at halftime by the Eastern side. Raznik,
Johnson,
Caroline at 9.
Yep. You got Maggie Birdsell at 8, man.
It goes to speak again the depth of the program and what's been developed, and it's not just this weekend. It's been a year-long process and a lot of it is following the template that the Midwest does a great job of preparing their program throughout the year, with different events and gatherings, camps, things like that. And that's what the EGRL on the Eastern side is trying to do.
Rolls out to DeMarco. Mignoni gets there. Balls out to Johnson.
Strong run.
Goes straight up the gut. And she's it's taking a couple of players in to get her down. So ball's a little bit sloppy. That's Petrucci. Keeping her feet. It's starting to get held up here. Okay, ball is available. Out to Rhodes. Rhodes takes a step back inside and then cuts. Has the fullback to beat. Nice tackle by Roth. Offloads to Robinson.
Get in there.
So Eastern State's knocking on the door. It's going to be a penalty. So they'll probably slow things down here. Maybe keep it with a pot of forwards, tap and go. And you have Mac Alois just screaming for the ball on the outside.
Come on. 14 wants it. Bring it outside.
Ball goes the other way. We're going to have penalty advantage. And yeah, the arm's gone up. It's going to be a penalty. You love to see the winger screaming for the ball. Every time they feel that they're definitely going to score. Raznik punches it in, and it looks like she's going to be held up. So she made a nice punch through under the post, and the tackler just kind of sat back, took the tackle, and the ball landed between the two of them. So it's going to be a 5-meter dropout. Got a ferocious 10 minutes here. Kicks up. Fielded cleanly. That's Lech. Still driving. Need to get in. Oh, and we do have not rolling away. So, yeah. So it's going to be a penalty on oh, and a nice little break up the outside. And it's a big, there was a high tackle. But it seems like Mac Alois did actually get it down. So she backed up her screaming for the ball earlier with a nice score. So we have 36-22. Eastern State's taking a little bit of a, I won't say comfortable lead because this could change on a dime. Rhodes with a bit of a difficult kick here. So we talked about it a little bit earlier, the impact that the finishers have made on the Eastern State side in particular. It's been really, really good.
Yeah, and it just goes to show the level of players that is developing in the programs in the EGRL. That there's a number of players that were unavailable this weekend as well. There's a tournament going on down in North Carolina that a number of players are playing in. The SATs were yesterday, so there were a number of players that couldn't travel. So there truly are 50 or 60 players that are going to be competing for spots on the roster 25 to go down to Florida in February to compete in the interterritorial championships. And I know the Midwest has the same going on their side.
Yeah.
Which when we first started the program, I don't know if there were necessarily the same number of players that would warrant consideration.
Yeah, and there's going to be quite a few players on both sides here today that maybe they don't make the squad, but at least they've got the opportunity to get some game time in and see really what it takes to be at the next level. And it may be a no for some of these players for now, but it's something. Keep working, keep trying to improve, and just keep working on your skills, and you'll get there.
Fantastic offload there by McGonigal.
Again, another player that has great vision and is just able to absorb the hit and just make these little pop passes into those running lanes.
And her level of, I think seeing her as a young player and her development over the last 3 years, I'm a little disappointed that, that she doesn't play on my side or any side that I back. But she's such a great girl and eager to learn and be a part of the process, which has really made it so much more enjoyable. Strong tackle by Anderson. Wow.
Jones really making a nice tackle. So
Johnson, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Johnson.
Mariana, another one. She's really coming into her own, which is great to see.
Kick away over the head of Walensky. She's back on the run. Spreads it out. Birdsell.
That North Bay connection. Give credit to to Coach Jeff from
Don't do it.
Steamroller Rugby.
Don't do it. Oh, great hands there. Jocelyn Terry.
Wow.
Flynn just finding the holes. Everybody's moving. McGonigal punched through again. Johnson there to clean up. Oh, nice little offload to Mac Galloway's, and she turns on the afterburners and puts it down in the corner. Really good work there by Leah Sapola. Draws the tackle in, just maintains her line, and then just gives a little pop pass out to Mac Galloway. So the Doylestown connection there again, doing damage on the outside.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see the eastern side. You know, I know, Coach Mike had talked earlier about, wanting to get the pressure with the defensively, but also in attacking. You can really see what the results can be when you stay true to that, the philosophy. They're constantly going forward. They're winning the contact area, doing enough to keep the ball moving, and that's going to provide a lot of opportunities for wings to score tries when you're doing the hard work in between.
Yeah, and when you have, and we talked about it earlier, when you have an offense in the Midwest Thunderbirds and keep getting hit, and they keep having to reset their lines back and back and back throughout the game, going to have a knock-on effect towards the end of the game. It's going to make your forwards tired. They're not going to move around the field as much. I think we're starting to see those holes develop now. Certainly not putting their heads down in any way.
No.
Roth kicks deep. Raznek has it. Oh, big push by Thunderbirds. They've turned it over. Really nice work by the Birds. Sneaked through by, I think it's Ella Arnold. Maybe Kira Quinn. So not releasing in the tackle. Gonna have a penalty there. Langworthy has it. She'll probably kick for the corner. Oh no, she's gonna tap and go. She's got Roth on her outside. Support needs to get there. Roth's in. I don't think it was Roth. So it's been turned over. Oh, and big blast through. Turned over again. That's Sosby. Got numbers on the outside if they can get it out. Oh, we're going to have a penalty for not releasing. Big, quick tap by Nurse. Tries to punch through. And it looks like she's been stopped. Just shy of the line. Ball's moving out. Oh, there's numbers on the outside. Good, strong defense. The edge is available, and Langworthy sees it and takes it. That goes back to that vision by Langworthy. She saw that the outside edge was not being covered and just took a couple of steps and dove for the line. So
she's been all over the pitch today. Really strong game.
That's 41-27. Kick to follow by Roth. Not the easiest position to kick from. Kicks up. By both teams here. The Eastern States come away with the victory in this one. And what would you say were the keys to this game so far?
Yeah, I think on the from the Midwest side, standout performance by Langworthy. Roth at 15 had a great game, but I think both sides got out of it what they wanted to. I think they were able to see a lot of players display uh, the talents that they have, and their ability to work within the systems, which is gonna be a great thing going forward. Is both teams are going to be building towards headed down to Tampa in February, and I have a feeling that the Midwest is going to be ready for the rematch when we get down there to Tampa. And as we talk, these teams may look a little different. The general framework and the core group of players is going to be the same. There's going to be some other players that are going to be added and some that are going to be taken away. But I think we're setting the stage for what's going to be a great tournament down in Florida coming up in February.
Sets up a really strong matchup. Thunderbirds have taken the trophy the last few years, and
they're the only name on the trophy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's their trophy to lose.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the Thunderbirds trophy. So no trophy on the line today, but certainly the Eastern states would have to be encouraged by the progress they've made today. And again, both sides are missing quite a few players for different reasons, SATs and things like that. So the lineups could look quite different once we get to Florida. So they're going to go down now and take a picture under the post, and I think we will be wrapping it up. And thank you everybody for watching at home, and we hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know we did.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Nice.